Some of you might recall my Jumper EZBook 2 unboxing and review. Well, this is the upgraded version. So it has now a 128GB eMMC, has wireless AC. It's a slightly smaller build that is now made out of alloy, and it's called the EZBook Air now. It's 11.6 inches, and it still has, unfortunately, that same Atom X5 Z8300 in it. So this one I got from BearGuest. You can see their typical boxes, and it has been double boxed. So I've just opened up the side here, and I'll get it out. Just pre-opened this part here, so don't worry, I haven't opened the box yet. Alright, so it looks like it's sealed. That's okay, there's no seal on the other side there. So the side just lists a few of those specs I outlined. The battery in it is 8,000 milliamp hours. Hopefully that'll last at least 7 hours or so, just like the first model did. Now the first model had a couple of flaws with it that I wasn't too happy with. The first one was, the major one for me, was I couldn't access external hard drives. Hopefully Jumper have learnt their lesson and they will have fixed that. But I'm not too sure, so I will definitely test that out in this video. So we have a Type-C port as well for charging. I've just seen the adapter and that reminded me. So there's the power supply, obviously. And that is rated to 5 volts, 3 amps. And they have also included an adapter, a little champagne gold one there, so that's handy. It does have full use USB 3 port on it. So let's have a look at it. Okay. So there's a user manual in there. I'm not going to even bother with that. It looks like it does actually have English and Chinese. There's no need. That'll just be going over some basic Windows stuff. That actually feels quite light. Not bad. So you see, we just have a Type-C port there on the side. And that actually looks really thin. Just going to have a quick look at that. It's designed to look thin. It's not that thin there, but let's have a look. That is 10 millimeters on the sides there, but where the rubber feet are, that comes now to 16.5. So the weight of it is under a kilo, 938 grams. So that's actually quite good, not bad. So you see it has a metal design. It's got a plastic on the top of this, but this apparently is an alloy that they are using. And we have a headphone jack. Oh, so I was wrong there. It doesn't have any USB 3 ports on it. No USB 3 ports. You have to use that adapter. So that's straight away a disadvantage. And on the bottom, it feels like, yes, okay, the bottom is definitely metal. That's good. So that should help dissipate the heat from the chipset. 4 rubber feet there and lots of screws holding that all in. So let's get it opened and powered on. Oh wow, look at those bezels. They're quite large, aren't they? It actually looks a little bit worse than I thought. The keyboard, there's a bit of flex in that. I'm pressing down really hard. And the touchpad, certainly nothing like the quality of the Xiaomi Mi Notebook Air, which I just recently reviewed. So the power button is right here. I'll just give you a close-up of the keyboard. So it looks like we have no print screen button, which is, oh no, there it is. So function, so you need to use function. And the keys have reasonable amount of travel there. Let's get this powered on. Alright, so I finally got it to power on. I don't know what was happening then. I was holding down the power button. I had to like manually power it off. And now it's booting up. You can see it has a glossy display. And to me, it doesn't seem like it has a protective coating on it at all. I'm just still trying to adjust to those bezels after using a notebook with a lot smaller bezels than this. So this top here, that is, to me, that feels like metal. So the build of it is quite good, quite light. But yeah, again, I'm just, those bezels. It's just the way with the gold. I think that's kind of overkill there. They should have made those, why couldn't have made those black? I feel like getting out a spray can and painting that matte black. So fully launched now, and have a look at the device manager here. So the disk drive is the Samsung. That is good to see. Hopefully that's going to have some reasonable speeds. An MDGA GC You can check out these specs on that if you search that online. And the network adapter, we have Intel dual band wireless AC 3160. That's a positive of it there. And I'll have a look at the free space. Free space 105 gigabytes. So that's quite good. Having 128 gigabyte eMMC is definitely a positive there. Now I'm just going to have a look and see if it will actually power my external hard drive. Oh, it's such a shame that this only has the Type-C port. So I'm using the included adapter there. Plug that in. And hopefully, fingers crossed, this is going to work. Looking good so far. Blue light. And yes, okay, so that's one thing. At least that one port that we have can access external hard drives, unlike the Jumper EZBook 2, which had that problem. At least the first batch did. Apparently that was corrected on the third batch, or the second and third batch. I just wanted to point out as well that that's the microphone here. I don't particularly like microphones placed on the keyboard, because if you're talking to someone on Skype and you happen to be typing at the same time, this always gets a lot of feedback noise from that. So, and having it so close to the keyboard there too. Quick close-up look at that screen. It actually is a very nice looking 1080p IPS panel. Not bad at all. Now I noticed that the bezels, this is actually plastic, I feel. Definitely not metal. No, that's plastic. Now the touchpad feels okay. It has like a matte plastic feel to it. It's definitely not a glass one. And I can see that it's supporting gestures, at least the double tap right click. That is working. And the swipe down, minimize, maximize doesn't seem to be working. But I find that a good thing, because that gesture for me personally is very annoying. Doesn't seem too bad. So we do have still hardware left and right mouse buttons within it as well, which is good to see. It's not just all gestures. And here's the front-facing camera. It looks okay, the quality at the moment, but I'll have to check it out, of course, in lower lighting conditions to see whether it's going to lag and get all choppy. Now, just a very quick sound check. Now, oddly enough, I can't see where the speaker grills are. It looks like they've just incorporated the speakers within the body, and the sound must come out, I guess, through the top along here, because I can't see them anywhere. So have a look at a track here from Carbon-Based Lifeforms. If I can type it correctly. The usual track I test out, mainly because it doesn't give me copyright issues. So set that to 100% volume. You know what, they don't actually sound too bad, apart from the crackle that I started to hear at 100% volume. They've got a little bit of bass to them, and they seem to be housed within there, because where is the speaker grill? There is no gap, so it's just resonating through, I guess, the metal in the body and everything, but it doesn't sound too bad, especially considering the size of it. So I don't know what Jumper is doing, copying Apple so much here, only including the one port on there. There's no HDMI out, there's no micro SD card slot. And if we want to use data in the charging at the same time, I guess we're going to have to use hubs like the all-key one I have here. That's a hub, so at least we'll be able to probably charge and use data. But still, only having one port on there, come on. So that was my unboxing there, and just a quick look at it. First impressions are, well, the speakers don't sound too bad, but they did have some crackle and distortion at 100%. Now, being Captain Obvious here, the bezels, the color of it, I'm not particularly fond of the champagne gold thing, and they decided to really copy Apple by only including the one Type-C port. For some reason, I thought there was a USB 3 port on there next to it, and it's really disappointing to see it does not have that. And the weight of it is really good. The keyboard feels nice, and one thing that Jumper did really well on the EZBook 2 was they optimized it with their drivers, or the way they have the BIOS set up. That made the Atom X5 Z8300 feel quite snappy, a lot quicker than other devices, maybe because it doesn't have a touchscreen. That's got something to do with it. That touchscreens and high-resolution screens tend to slow the atoms down a little bit. So it's feeling okay at the moment, a little faster than the normal X5 I can see. Just using the operating system already, I can tell by that. And the touchpad there, it seems fine. I mean, this kind of price ranging category of notebook, I guess it seems okay, but the main thing is the size and how thin it is and the weight of it that is quite impressive. But I'll mention it again, those bezels. And why did they have to make him gold? Anyway, I'll be back with this. I've got a little bit of a backlog at the moment with other Atom tablets and tech to look at, but I will bring out a full review of this one, don't worry about that. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you back soon.